a while, guys. It's been a while. Anyway, I didn't forget about you. Just had a million things on the go. Number one, started cleaning up the office here. Remember, it used to be stacked full of stuff. Started cleaning it up, getting it back to normal, like it should be. So I've been doing stuff like that. Number two, most of my time has been gone because for the last 3 weeks we've been doing renovations in my kitchen in the house. So between going to the gym every morning, meeting up with all the renovators and contractors, I should say, that have been showing up at the house and working, it's been a real shit show, and I just haven't had time to pick up the camera. So you've missed a lot. But the good news is you didn't miss much on Sunday fun days. Didn't do much there because I'm still waiting on parts. So we are installing a cage here. Mike's installing a cage in the 72 Buick. See, he's getting everything fitted in there, working away, turning out really good. This is something that should have been done prior to the car being all built and put together, and then the owner decided at the end, oh, I should have put a cage in there, even though we told him several times over it needed to be done. Then he decided to do it. But it's not that it can't be done, it just means you're ripping a whole car apart that was ready to go for paint to start putting a cage in now, and then you're going to put the whole car back together. So he took around 7 or 8 steps backwards. What can I tell you? And of course the little Chevy GMC. Got the floors on that side, inner panel. Basically got to do this cowl panel. Got all the rocker panel piece on. It's solid. So basically get that on, fit it to the door. And then there's a little bit of rust repair on the front fenders outside that needs to be done. Then basically it's get a drive shaft cut, fitted, get some exhaust on it, get a disc brake conversion kit on, and start wiring it up, and it's on the road. It sounds easy. It is easy, but it's costly. Everything you go to buy nowadays, it just seems like the prices are going up more and more every moment. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Here, we'll take a look what's going on outside here and see what you think. Okay, we'll get over here. Oh, there's our 57 Ford. I think you saw that. The engine will be coming back for that soon. I got it all pressure washed in there. Now we're not cleaning anything up or painting anything in here. We're just putting a rebuilt engine in. That's it. But of course, when we pull the engine out, we take the time to at least pressure wash and clean everything up that way, degrease it the best we can. And then the old Ford pickup, she's all together. I just see she's getting a flat tire there though for some reason. Got to get her down off the stands on the back. I got to hook up one fuel line, charge up the batteries, put a new windshield seal in it, and that's it. She's on the road. Like I say, I got my old 58 Ford over there. She's just running. You know, it's fall, it's cold, she needs to run. Now let's go see what Sean's been up to over here. I guess we can also look at while we're here is the Camaro. You know this one. It's been here for like almost 3 years. Whew, long time. But this is it. It is final bolted together. Everything is fitted. The best that it's going to fit for how it was in 1968. All the lines, gaps, everything lines up. And basically now what is next is we're going to be taking it all back apart and start painting all the edges. So everything comes apart. All the edges get painted. We'll paint up the dash. We'll paint up all the inner parts here. We'll paint the dash. We'll paint the inner side of the doors. Everything. You can see the trunk lid. Look at that. Look at them beautiful lines. But anyway, yeah, so we'll get everything painted up. Even this, look at this. This line's right up, eh? Body lines. All the way through. All the way through. Look at that. Just run your hand over there and just keeps on going. So we'll paint all the edges, get that done. Then what we'll do is we'll put a few things in the dash that need to be put in there. It's got some vents and tubes and hoses that need to go in. Then we'll put the trunk lid back on, we'll put the doors back on, we'll leave the front sheet metal off, and hopefully the owner will bring us out an engine and tranny, shove that in the hole. That's the best thing to do, is if you put your engine tranny in next. Then after that we get some exhaust on it, then we pump up and bleed the brakes, then you would wire it, then you'd put your front sheet metal back on. But the customer's taking care of the wiring, which is all fine. You can wire it after too, so we're not worried about that. He's got the nice easy harness. He bought the original harness where everything just plugs in right back how it was factory. So the wiring can be done after on this. So my game plan is I would love to see this thing painted. Oh, I don't know now. The weather's getting cold. If the weather warmed up a bit, we could get her painted before Christmas. If not, maybe a little bit after Christmas. And it depends too what's going on. Sean's working away over here in the on the 64 Mercury Marauder. And again, we got this sucker all bolted together, doors, fenders, everything, lining everything up, making sure body lines are in line. I don't understand people that paint pieces, do body work and paint pieces in cars that are apart and then paint it and then bolt it together and think, oh, why doesn't it line up now? You gotta fit things, you gotta fit everything. You got to fit it and get all the lines in line. Then you got to pull it apart and mark everything in little Ziploc baggies where every little shim was. So when you paint it and you put it back together, you know how it was. And even then, half the time when you do it, it never goes back how it was. It's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. But she's getting ready for the front fenders. Put it this way: the quarters and the doors are the only thing that need to go in final primer, and that's happening here on Monday. And then this car, we'll put the hood on one last time, the trunk, and it'll be in the same stage the Camaro's in. We'll wait, leave it sit up for a while. We always let primer sit for a while because primer does shrink. We don't just sand primer the very next day. We leave it sit for a good, 7 to 10 days. She could shrink up. Then we'll block her out, take it apart, start painting edges, put her together, off the paint we go. So this one is very, very close because she'll be in final primer on Monday. Yeah. Gotta love it. And the owner of the 57 Gullwing, which is all covered up right now, he picked a color so we can get onto that now because that car is in final primer. So we can get onto that old beast. Let me go kick the choke off on the old 58 over here. I'm gonna take her out on Monday, I think. Take her for a good... I always meet up with the boys on Monday. We always go to a pub and have lunch, And yeah, it's just a good time. Oh. Lovely. The only problem with this car is I got no heater in her. So this time of year, you drive it around, you're using a credit card to scrape the windows. So, head back in the shop. That's kind of your grand tour, what you've been missing. Not a hell of a lot. Like I say, cleaned up my office. And been doing house renos. Lots of house renos. Well, not house renos. The only room in my house that never got renovated was the kitchen. And the kitchens are the worst. And of course, when do we decide to do it? In fall. Yeah, So no sink. No oven, no stove, whatever, no fridge, none of that shit. And that's when we decide to do it, but all is good. Hey, it's always good time and old time. I'll catch you next time because I got to get the phone.